as you sort of like move up in the like the levels of complexity of like, you know, like you said, like there's a difference between touring and headlining and doing your own shows in like 200 or 300 cap venues.
Yeah.
Whereas they go out, you know, every couple of years they go out and they'll support a band like X, and now they're playing like 600 to 1,000 cap venues, and they're the support band, and it's like a whole different thing where your skill set and what you're doing as a tour manager or as a front house engineer or whatever, but for you, in your case, as a tour manager, what you're doing becomes more and more narrow and actually becomes more, you know, refined. And, you know, like a lot of us start out generally as the quote unquote the roadie, like the one crew person that the band can afford to bring on the road, and you're dabbling in a little bit of everything, and then eventually you find out from your own strengths and weaknesses, like, hey, I think it'd be better if I channeled more of my effort here. And then if the band is playing bigger venues and doing better financially, then they can afford to bring in someone who's just doing merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and like, because like you could even talk about that. Like that's like just doing merch, especially if you're on a bigger tour. Like a lot of people, you know, like if we assume that whoever's listening to this video doesn't know anything about how the concert world works, like if you're playing in that 1,000 cap room when you're opening for X or somebody else like that, like you have to do like the whole count in and count out process because the venue takes a cut of the merchandise sales.
Yep.
So there's like, that's like a whole process unto itself where it's not like you just get to the venue, you hang up the t-shirts. You have to count in and fill out an inventory sheet of exactly how many you brought into the venue of every size and every style and every design of hats and stickers and buttons and shirts and hoodies and all that stuff. And at the end of the night, you have to count it all out with a person from the venue, like usually looking over your shoulder.
Yep.
And, you know, because they're going to take a cut of whatever those sales happen to be. And so, so it's like just once you become like a full-time merch person, it is a full-time job unto itself.
Absolutely. And those bands, you know, it's much more than your typical what you see for some of like the opening bands on our Skating Poly headline tours, where it's like a t-shirt and a CD and that's what they got. It's like they got maybe 6 boxes of like one type of t-shirt and then like 6 boxes, or they come in with like just way more stuff. You got to sit back. Takes them about 2 hours to set up everything, and then you can go fill in your spot. It's much different than our headline shows where you get there, you got a box or two of some stuff, lay it out, and you're good to go. You go do something else.
You've already run out of all the smalls and medium shirts, and all you've got left is, you know, it's like a very limited selection of like, hey guys, here's what you get until we get fulfillment, like ships to us at another venue further into the tour or whatever. It's like a smaller scale. Well, and a lot of times too with the tour managing stuff, it's like, you know, what ends up happening is, you know, when you're tour managing a band like Skating Poly, there's, you know, your tour managing responsibilities change from when they're doing a headlining tour, because like you're booking everything like the hotels, and you have to do all the advancing, all the contracts, and making sure that they have your hospitality right, or that they know what stuff you need to have provided in the dressing rooms, and you have to gather all the info of like, what time do we arrive at the venue? What time does our sound check happen? What time can we leave the venue to go eat dinner and then come back and play the show? And what time does the opener go on and the middle band and blah, blah, blah. But then when you're like touring, like on a bus tour, you know, that's like a whole other thing, because you spend half of the tour just dealing with getting to the bus driver to their hotel rooms every night and getting them a cab there and a cab back, and then like having to work out like the overdrives because they can only drive so many miles per day, and it's like, and like, when you get to that where you're on a bus tour, tour managing half of your week just is just dealing with bus drivers specifically, you know, because it's like, it's such a added layer of such complexity that there's a lot of levels to it.